Who's the daddy? Nine years after its original release, Red Faction Guerilla Re-Mastered smashes its way onto the current gen consoles. But how does it fare next to the newer releases of today? In this review, we'll find out. Easy guys, Dom here from Cringy Dad Gaming. Volition's open world sci-fi RPG set on Mars first released back in 2009. It received some good reviews from fans, and maybe this is why Volition decided to re-release it. It boasts some upgraded features such as fully reworked graphics, heavily reworked textures and graphic features, adding, for example, specular maps, improved shadow rendering, improved lighting, and reworked shaders and post-processing. With all that in mind though, right from the start, you can see that the cutscenes look dated, which is to be expected. But if you can look past that and concentrate on the story and voice acting, then this is where the game shines. The main character, Alec Mason, is voice acted by none other than Troy Baker, who is better known for his part that he played as Joel from The Last of Us. But overall, the entire cast does a really good job.
Fun ride? Yeah, a blast. How's Mom?
She misses you.
In a brief, spoiler-free synopsis of the game, it sees you travelling to a terraformed Mars to work as a demolition/mining expert. You soon get caught in a deadly guerrilla uprising against the corrupt EDF, who intend to monopolise Mars's resources for themselves by any means necessary.
The Earth Defense Force changed the face of Mars. They terraformed so we could breathe the air. They built bases, checkpoints, watchtowers. The Liberators soon became an occupying force. Dan said they'd take everything. For me, they already have.
Drop the weapon, now!
You guys afraid of a hammer?
Drop it, smartass. We're under attack!
They'll hunt you from here to the ice caps.
He said I was Red Faction.
Like it or not, Mason, you are now.
Now, Mars is an awesome setting for the game, but it's also its biggest downfall in my opinion. The planet just looks bland, and even though some of the areas of the vast map have different colour palettes, it still doesn't make the world look any better. I personally would have liked to have seen more added to the world, such as industrial waste or more built up areas, and even some vegetation that the terraformers could have harvested there. The game definitely benefits from some enhanced textures and lighting, but it still can't get away from that last gen undertone. I played the game on PS4 Pro, giving me two video modes to choose from. One with enhanced 4K graphics running at 30 frames per second, or a higher performance mode giving me slightly lower resolution at 1500p, but a smoother frame rate at 60 frames per second. Now, this is actually the option that I found better. It just made the game look better overall, and it run with less frame rate drop with some of the larger destruction that you're going to cause throughout the game. Now, while I mentioned destruction, this is the most enjoyable element for me. Running around blown shit up is so much fun. Smashing stuff with a f***-off big sledgehammer is also the dog's bollocks. Now when it comes to the gunplay, when you first pick up the game it may feel a little odd. The L2 button, which is usually known to aim down sights, is actually the melee within the game, and pressing down on the R3 thumbstick is actually the zoom button for the guns. That seems a little bit backwards, but if you actually go into the controller options, there is actually some alternative settings where you can actually fix that. As you progress, you earn scrap which you can use to upgrade or buy new weapons. Completing missions will also allow you to unlock an arsenal of devastating weapons, armor upgrades and backpacks with things like jetpacks included. Vehicles also play a big part in getting around on Mars, and each vehicle type has its own feel. The game does include some extra game modes, so if you get bored of the single player, you can jump into these, or maybe even play a little bit of multiplayer. However, I found the multiplayer element of the game a little disappointing. I couldn't find any games with players actually in them. And when I finally did get in a game, it was either laggy or higher level players were jetpacking to ledges on the cliffs and sniping from inaccessible areas. It just didn't feel right to me, and it felt very unbalanced. I'm sure this will be fixed at a later date, and as the game continues to sell, more players will join lobbies. At this moment in time, Cringy Dead Gaming scores Red Faction Guerilla Remastered a 7 out of 10 for decent. Overall, my time playing the game has been a blast. Beyond its rough edges is a fun, well voice acted sci-fi action RPG that you should play if you haven't already. You can pick it up now for a reduced price, and owners of the original on PC can download it free from Steam. I'd like to give a shout out to Florian at THQ Nordic, thank you. And don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and thanks for watching. Who's the daddy?